Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. So we're doing a little mukbang. It's my first time doing mukbang, and this is what I'm having here. It's like what is that? I'm not sure actually. It's like a veggie noodles with tofu. I have my edamame and this spring rolls here. So I actually don't know how to use chopsticks, guys, so this is gonna be quite challenging. But I have my fork just in case. Maybe we try together to eat this one. Let's see if it works. I can't even split them. If I split them, I think. Okay. Ah. All right. All right. Let's try. Anna Marisax using chopsticks for the first time. No, this is really bad. Really bad. Okay. Oh no. I think I'm gonna switch to the fork, guys. Wait, hold on. If I try like this, maybe. Do I have any fans from Asia? Maybe you guys can show me how to do it. Mmm. Okay. Let's just use the fork, I think, guys. What should we talk about? What did I say I'm going to talk about in this vlog? About, like, basically how I got here. So, you guys, do you see where I'm sitting right now? This is Dubai. Dubai Marina. Imar Beachfront. I think this is the most expensive address in Dubai, actually. I got here because of my social media career, pretty much, right? How it all started. Wow. So how it all started. Basically, um, I was born in Poland, small town in the village with the mountains and all these kind of places, right? And I always wanted like something more in my life. I felt like this village was a bit small for me to do everything. I had very supportive parents and two brothers and two sisters, all from the same place. We went to like private school, like we went to very good school actually. So that's how I learned English first. So like I remember the professor of like English, she really hated me like in high school. She was really picking on me. She said like, you don't know like anything about English, blah blah. Like she always was marking me down. And look at me now. Fluent in English, doing business in English. So don't ever let teachers or people in high school bully you or anything. But I had a lot of bullying because I was different. So the first time I went somewhere was like I went on this like experience, like voluntary experience when I was 16 to America. Once I went to America, my whole life changed. So many things happened. First thing was like I built my confidence because I felt like being a curvy girl, being bigger in Poland is not accepted. You have to be skinny like this in my country. Like if you're a little bit more, I had bigger hips also. Now I obviously work out and now I'm more like fit, but when I was younger, I was a bit chunky and like guys wouldn't want to date me. People were not really nice to me. I was like a chunky kid, but I had imagination and I had strength and I had dreams. So I went. I was 16 years old, went to America to volunteer on this bus tour. I was sleeping on the bus, sweeping the floors, washing the dishes, and helping out with like different venues and stuff like that. We were traveling across like the whole country. We went to from Florida all the way to Kansas City, from New York to Washington, from Toronto, like South Canada. Then we did the East Coast, West Coast of America. Then we went to Mexico, back to America. All of this when I was 16, right? And my father like just gave me $200, and I had to stay there and just basically help with the work. Like I had to do the work. Uh, that's why I was able to afford my first trip to America. And because I was kind of funny, not very pretty, but funny, people liked me. And they started like inviting me to their houses, to like their events after the thing stopped, right? The bus tour. So I made some friends in Florida. Then I went back to Poland 3 more years of high school until I was 19. I was really sad. Another one, my camera operator dropped her spring roll. I feel sad for you, man. Take. Tak, sauce, proszę. This is Polish, guys. Polish language. Um, oh, I'm so fat, by the way. I went back for 3 more years of horrible high school in Poland, where again I was getting picked on for being different. But good thing was, I decided I want to like become fluent in English. So I just like closed myself up. I learned English day and night. I like closed myself from all the distractions, and everything was going in the perfect direction. I was ready to like for my A levels. I was prepared. Like my social life was horrible. Horrible. I didn't have any friends really besides one friend who was like making fun of me behind my back because I was different. So that was the only thing that I had. But besides that, like not so many friends. I was just always focused. And I was finally ready for my A levels, hoping to go back to America, somehow get a scholarship and study at like UCLA in California. That was my biggest dream of my life. And I also wanted to pursue acting career as a part-time. So yeah, I need some salt, guys. This is not exactly the most delicious thing. Anyway, so guys, what happened after? I was very, very excited, and I didn't know how I'm gonna do it, how I'm gonna go and study in UCLA. I have no money, nothing. How will I even go move to America? But I knew I wanted to do it, so I had a plan, and my plan was to pass A levels with like extraordinary mark, so that I can be admitted and get a scholarship to UCLA, University of California. And what happened was, the day before my exam, this is a real story, a week before, I was with my brother, Mati. He was like driving a scooter actually, and I was with him at the back seat. And guys, I almost died. I had a horrible car accident. I still have scars like all over my leg, everything, and I was literally probably gonna die or lose my leg. All of this was broken. The car hit us from the side. Like we were driving a scooter, a car hit us on the side. Boom, boom, boom. Went down like this. Boom, flipped over. And I remember like I was like with these big dreams and everything in the ambulance, and I saw my whole life just passing through. Everything, all my friends, my family, my pets. I was just wondering how I'm gonna survive, how they gonna survive if I die. Lucky thing was though, that day I didn't eat. So because I didn't eat, they were able to operate me. They put like 5 screws in my legs. And the worst pain, guys, was when I woke up the next day. Wow, this was the worst thing ever. My leg was this swollen. All this body, the side of my body was like this swollen. I feel like tremendous pain. Very, very difficult moment. Even the painkillers were not working. And my sister Buba, she came. She came to visit me. But my mom never came. My mom didn't like hospitals, so she decided she's not gonna come. She was just sending me positive energy. And then Buba came, my sister. She made me pasta. She was feeding me. And 3 weeks have passed. They put me on the wheelchair. And all my dreams, everything gone in 1 second. All gone. I had to start over again. I went for the A levels. I missed my A levels. I was not able to pass my A levels because I was not able to walk. So I couldn't go to school. So I had to go to an external place to pass my exams, to an external venue. And I remember like when I was during my exam actually, like the final, the most important one, I fainted because I was straight from the operation. Because I was like, I'm not giving up. And in Poland we have like this thing called A level. It's called the matura. And this one, I just, yeah, during the math one, I just passed out. I passed out. So because of that time and everything, I passed it, but I barely passed it. And I got this results like I had a feeling like I'm not gonna pass with like flying colors because I needed for UCLA scholarship, I needed 80% plus to get accepted and get scholarship. So I knew like I barely passed, and the pass at the time was 30%. So I had a feeling I barely passed one of the exams, the math, which I was not very good at math, first of all, and second of all, the questions I had were very difficult because I was the first year that had math in Poland, and the questions were so difficult because also I was not doing it on the right day. I was doing it a month later, so they made it like more hard because they thought these people who don't want to take the test, they're trying to get away from it. So I was punished for these people also, and I was sure like I had like maybe like I wasn't sure if I passed, but I was sure it was not 60 or 70, 80%. So what I did a week later, I never gave up. I was 19, guys, broken with my leg, everything. I was like, okay, I won't be able to go to UCLA. All right, what's the alternative? London. I speak English now because I learned London. So, guys, I applied online. There's this call, the place like where you can apply. I applied to 5 universities in London for law. And why law? Maybe I should do another vlog about that. Why law degree, okay? But I chose law degree. I'm not really loving these noodles. Maybe I should cook something else. Anyway. Mm, but yeah, why law? I'm gonna do it next time for you guys. But I decided to go for law. Since I'm not good at mathematics, at least something I can do that's quite logical. 2 months later, I did get my results from the A levels. Yeah, and I passed everything, like most subjects, but the maths I literally had like 30%. That was a pass. But for some reason, to be admitted to London, you didn't need this. Like you only needed like 40 or 60% from extended Polish. I think I had extended Polish and extended English. So I actually got accepted to 2 out of 5 universities in London. I got an offer from Southbank University and from Westminster. These two. So I was like, okay, this is not too bad. At least it's 2 hour flight from Poland. I don't have to do like the whole flight to Los Angeles to study. I know it's not California, it's not LA, but at least it's something, right? So yeah, I remember I had this little luggage. I was 19 years old. Little bag with me, broken leg, like this. I was finding a place in the campus. My dad offered to help to cover my fees and to rent a room for me in London and give me like, I think he gave me like £400 allowance per month. So this was it. The rest I just had to survive, find my way. Uh, and I went to the campus. I sat down, like I unload. Oh, another story I should do, like how I found my apartment, the shitty apartment. I was staying in Peckham. Oh my god, with the Caribbean mafia. Oh my god, it was crazy. Lovely people though, but I was just afraid in the beginning, and I was 19 years old. Anyway, I finally found a place in campus with all my bags and everything. I put there, and I went for the first. I remember the year started, and I had a thought about like maybe studying in Australia for a moment, but because of my leg, I just couldn't do anything else. So I was like just grateful to be in London. I got like I was 19 and I got like my first rent money from my dad to um to pay the room. But you know what I did, guys? My friend from Perth called me, and I still had 3 weeks before I started university, and my leg was already kind of healed, so I could walk. And my friend called me, Van, my best friend. He was on the reality show with me. He's like, Anna, oh my god, mm, I'm working on this new project in in Perth. I have this house. I can't do the Aussie accent. Yo, mate, I got this house, and I need your help, like renovating this house. And I'm like, what? Like, what can I do? I just got to London, and da. And he's like, no, you're coming, and you can stay in the house, but you have to help me. I was like, guys, like all I needed to do is just have money for the ticket. So I checked the flight, £700. That's exactly, my dad gave me 600. And I was like, okay, Perth, London to Perth. Okay, via Brunei and via Dubai and via Brunei back to Perth. I just did it, guys. I had 2 weeks before the school year starts, and I went to Australia. I never told my dad I was there. And when my dad called me on roaming, I had to answer finally. I was like, Dad, I'm in Australia. And he was like, first he kind of got mad and then he was like, okay, well, you know what? Okay, I just booked your flight. Go check out the East Coast if you want to. The West Coast, the Sydney, all the places. So I did go. And this was my first like a solo trip travel when I was 19 years old, guys. I got so much into traveling back then already. But the reality was starting to come in. The time finished, and I had to go back to London to start my studies, start my education, so I cannot be disappointing to my family. And yeah, went back to London. I didn't want to. And I started my first class with this professor, and he goes like, abortion. Are we in favor or are we against? What do you think about abortion? And I'm just like sitting there. I'm 19 years old. I don't know what to say. I don't know. I don't have an opinion. I'm scared. And they basically pick up a random person who was against it. And they were arguing, like, why I'm against it, and one person who was for it, right? What are the arguments for it? So I was just sitting there and I was like, I really didn't have an opinion on that one, or another one, euthanasia. I didn't even know what that meant, right? Um, so I was just sitting there, and then I remember the first lesson of the professor. He said, in law, there's no wrong or right answer as long as you justify your answer. And I was like, everything in my life after, like, I just use that, apply this rule. So yeah, first year, second year, third year in London. I can get more into this if you want, guys. But overall, it was slightly depressing there. So I decided I need like a slow change. I got my degree after 3 years in London, bachelor's in law. And when I was there, I met the boy who was my first love. Whoa! Who was my first love, guys. I think this is enough. I shouldn't be eating this anymore. I don't even like it. So, this boy, he was English. He was my first love. And together, after my degree, we decided to move to Texas. We moved to Dallas the Dallas, East Dallas. We're living there for like 6 months. But unfortunately, I took on a job because I didn't know, I had to stay there somehow legally. So I was like a babysitter, and I had a visa, student visa, so I could do some things. And I was working with like 5, 6 kids in the same time, taking care of them. But this is another episode story. Anyway, I was in Dallas, and ew. And so what happened after was, the boy that I fell in love with, who I moved for to Dallas, he was actually addicted to drugs, and he was a drug dealer also at that time, which I had no idea about. It was very sad story. And I had to leave because he never wanted to change. So when I left back to Poland, I decided I'm gonna back to uni and do my master's degree in law. And he got actually locked up in jail. He stayed in jail for a few years. So thanks God I wasn't there when he got locked up. Anyway, I did my master's degree, never gave up, and in the University of Warsaw. And just before I was ready to uh, pass my master's, I think it was like a few months before, my mother had died in a car crash in 2016 and June 14. My parents bought a property in Portugal, in Madeira. Madeira has a very dangerous cliffs, and she went for a ride with my sister and my dad, and she never came back. The car crashed her, so she died like in one place, one spot. My dad just calls me at 12:37. I was living in Malta at the time. Like 12:37, my dad is like, "Your mom is gone. She just died like a minute ago." The first feeling I had was like, I want to like jump off to be with her. But then I started thinking about my dad, about everybody, and I just decided I have to continue living for as long as I can. That was 2016. I came back home 2 days later, literally just carrying my mom's photo in front of me the whole time. And then 2 weeks later, we had a funeral in July, memorial, we had flowers. Then we did a holy trip to India also next year. But long story short, I was just graduating law school, becoming a lawyer, professional lawyer. I was training 9 to 9 and at the time in a law firm. And my mom knew about this. And she just wanted me to be happy in life. She didn't want me to like necessarily work as a lawyer or do something I hate or like office job. And 1 month later did all of this happen, I started vlogging on YouTube. And my first upload was cleaning up my closet, just having fun. I didn't know what I was doing. And then I just kept doing what I was doing. I wasn't sure what I was doing. I just kept making different vlogs. I was consistent. I was just doing them. I didn't have a plan or anything. I was just vlogging my life. And then 6 months later, there was a breakthrough in my career. One collaboration with an influencer from Canada. She's a big YouTuber now. And that one collaboration brought me to 100,000 subscribers. And then all the vlogs I was sharing from Mexico, from my life, my daily vlogs, all of this, I was literally just happy to share my life and stuff. So all of this just started going viral, and 6 months later I decided it's time to elevate, it's time to move to Miami, Florida. So from there, from Mexico and from all these places, I just went to Miami. And I spent 4 years working on my vlogs, trying to forget the grief and the pain I felt in my heart and the emptiness of losing my mom. So this is basically the story of how I got here, guys. um, it's a bit sad, but I think life is there to overcome obstacles, and once we overcome them, we'll become 100 times stronger. So my help and my way of dealing with emptiness was pretty much just working. And now I'm living the dream job of my life. And I learned so much that I decided to become a YouTube coach, like social media coach now, where I'm taking mentor or I'm taking like students on, and I'm just very happy to be successful right now, have my properties, and teach people how to become successful from online marketing and online social media, all these things. We should take each day as it comes because you never know when is the last. Well, thank you guys for joining my dinner. It's not the best one, but it's okay. uh, yeah, I like the spring rolls was okay. This one is a bit. I'm not really fan of this one. I don't know. It's something missing. And edamame. How was yours? Better the chicken rice? Was good. Yeah, maybe I should have ordered something else. So this is it, guys. Thank you for being here. And yeah, if you want to learn how to do YouTube and stuff, check out my link. Enroll in my class, and we can. I can teach you how to do everything on YouTube and like how I use algorithms to get 1 million subscribers. Okay, I love you. Bye. Subscribe and like this vlog and comment down below. What was your biggest lesson in life? How did you overcome that? And what's your philosophy of life today? Love you.